inside of this rally along with us and the former president's supporters, members of the press. They were there too, also diving for cover, many of the former president's aides, when we heard those gunshots erupt.
Commemorating 70 years. This is News 13 at 11.
What happened?
Breaking tonight, an assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. He released a statement a little more than an hour ago. He was shot by a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. We just learned authorities recovered an AR-style rifle at the scene. It all happened tonight at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. You saw Trump grab his neck before Secret Service rushed him off the stage. Blood was visible on his hand and ear. In a statement, Trump says he's fine and that he's being checked at a medical facility. According to the Secret Service, the shooter was outside the rally and fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position. That shooter was shot and killed by the Secret Service. One spectator was also killed and 2 others critically hurt. Shortly after those terrifying shots, a bloody Donald Trump gave his supporters a fist pump as he was whisked away by Secret Service. Frightened supporters cheered among screams in all the panic. And we are learning more about what happened tonight from that statement the former president issued just a short time ago. He is thanking law enforcement and the Secret Service after the attempt on his life and extending his condolences to the victims. Trump says nothing is known about the shooter at this time. He described what it was like when it happened, saying he felt the bullet rip through his skin. He ended his post with "God bless America."
Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
President Joe Biden speaking to the nation tonight, and we just learned he was able to speak with former President Trump. Biden also condemning the violence and calling on the nation to unite. He said he is grateful Trump is safe and doing well, and that he's praying for him, his family, and everyone at the rally. As we continue to monitor these breaking developments coming into the newsroom, we have just learned from the Trump campaign the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee will proceed on Monday, and the former president looks forward to going. National correspondent Kayla Gaskins takes us through what we know right now.
Donald Trump releasing a statement in the hours after the attack, saying he was shot by a bullet that pierced his upper ear. He also thanked the Secret Service for their action and gave condolences to the rally attendee who died. Trump's campaign confirmed the former president is fine and that he was checked out at a local medical facility. A political rally turned into a crime scene.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, beautiful crowd.
As the former president spoke to his supporters in Butler, Pennsylvania Saturday, gunshots ripped through the air. Donald Trump seen reaching for his ear before dropping to the ground. Secret Service immediately rushing the stage to surround him. Screams heard in the crowd. Go. After a few tense moments, the former president on his feet. Blood spattered across his cheek and ear. Trump giving a fist bump as Secret Service whisked him away to the hospital. The Associated Press reporting the shooter is dead, along with one rally attendee. President Biden spoke to Trump following the shooting and earlier condemned the violence.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
Republican House Majority Leader Steve Scalise was shot in 2017 by a left-wing activist. On Saturday, Scalise writing, "For weeks, Democrat leaders have been fueling ludicrous hysteria that Donald Trump winning re-election would be the end of democracy in America. Clearly, we've seen far-left lunatics act on violent rhetoric in the past. This incendiary rhetoric must stop." We spoke with a Trump supporter who was 6 rows from the stage.
Just a sad day for America. Just a really sad day for America. The vibe was, it was open with prayer. People were united. This is America. This is freedom, regardless of your politics.
This rally was supposed to be a celebratory moment for Trump heading into the GOP convention in Milwaukee that starts Monday. The convention will no doubt have a very different feel with tighter security now on tap in the wake of Saturday's shooting. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
North Carolina's lawmakers issuing statements tonight. Senator Tom Tillis saying, quote, "This was a heinous assassination attempt, and thank God that President Trump is safe. Keep praying for those who were shot. Violence in our political system can never be tolerated." Senator Ted Budd responding, quote, "Praying for President Trump and everyone at the Pennsylvania rally. Pray for our country." 11th District Representative Chuck Edwards saying, quote, "Prayers are with the President Trump and everyone at the rally." And the 10th District Representative Patrick McHenry responding, quote, "Praying for President Trump and our nation." Keep it right here for breaking developments on this story. We are monitoring our feeds for new information. We will bring you everything as we continue to learn it. And it'll be all coming up on News 13 this morning, plus, of course, all of our digital platforms. Our coverage begins again tomorrow morning at 6. Also breaking tonight, a homicide investigation in Asheville. Police say it started as a fight on Depot Street in Livingston Apartments just before 7:30 when officers arrived at Mission Hospital where he died. A person of interest is in custody. The name of the victim will be released when the next of kin has been notified. If you have any information, contact APD. Developing tonight, a man with ties to Western North Carolina is accused of killing 4 members of his family in California. Authorities say Shane Killian shot and killed his wife, his 6-year-old son, and his in-laws near San Francisco. Another victim, a 1-year-old, survived the shooting but is in critical condition. Killian has ties to Murphy, where he served jail time for misdemeanor assault on a government official 13 years ago. And that incident involved a gun at a gas station, which led to a high-speed chase. No word yet on a motive for the shooting. We lost 2 people who were household names in the 80s. Later, we remember the life and legacy of fitness icon Richard Simmons. Also, a doctor who talked about topics that were once taboo has also died. A look back at the life and career of Dr. Ruth. It is the dog days of summer, and as you can see, take a look. All these pups were at Lake Julian today for the Dog Day afternoon. The event is all about dogs, especially rescue dogs that need homes. Costumes were included for everyone who came looking for a new pup and families who already have one.
It is better to adopt than it is to shop. We've got lots of amazing pets here that are available to have forever homes. And we want you to come out, bring your family, bring your friends so that our local pets that need a home can stay right here in our community.
Look at them go. If you missed today's event, it's happening again Saturday, September 14th. Just mark your calendar. And we hope you like all that heat you just saw and humidity because, Karen, we're pretty much in a rough stretch next week.
Yeah, some good pool days coming up, and today certainly was one. 91 our high in Asheville. Average high is 86, so we certainly are running hot. And GSP Airport hit a high of 95 degrees. We're looking to do this for several more days. We're still very warm outside right now, and we have quieted down for the night after a few showers and storms popped up this afternoon. Coming up, I'll show you how many more days in the 90s I'm expecting and the big pattern change and how that will cool things down.
Tomorrow morning in our Carolina Moment, crocheting with compassion.
Yeah, how the CAPS volunteers offer a bit of comfort to chemo patients, plus morning trivia and events happening around the mountains.
What happened?
Showing you once again those terrifying moments. Continuing to follow this breaking news tonight, the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. He released a statement just hours ago that he was shot by a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. And we just learned authorities did recover an AR-style rifle at the scene. This all happened tonight at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. You saw Trump grab his neck before Secret Service rushed him off the stage. Blood was visible on his hand and ear. In a statement, Trump says he's fine and that he's being checked at a medical facility. According to the Secret Service, the shooter was outside the rally and fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position. That shooter was killed by the Secret Service. One spectator was also killed and 2 others critically hurt. Keep it right here for those breaking developments on this story. We are monitoring our feeds for new information. We'll bring you all of that information on News 13 this morning and, of course, our digital platforms. Legendary fitness guru Richard Simmons has died one day after his birthday. It happened at his home in Los Angeles. He was 76. He rose to fame in the 70s and 80s with his high-energy aerobic routines, offering encouragement to those on the weight loss journey. Michelle Franzen has more.
1, take it out. 2.
He defined fitness for a generation.
And 1. And 2.
Big hair, short shorts, crystal-studded tank tops, and an irresistible charm.
Come on, this is for you!
Richard Simmons kicked and counted his way to success in an age before Jane Fonda and spin classes. Simmons built an empire on infomercials, workout tapes, and DVDs, and his effervescent appeal. He found fitness after battling obesity for decades.
2.
Many Americans
3.
turned to him, hoping his energy would help them melt off the pounds.
Hey, it's Richard Simmons calling. How are you?
Simmons was so dedicated to his mission against obesity, he spent his later years at home, personally calling people who asked for help.
I don't have to work anymore. This is my passion, and this is my mission.
And even took his crusade for children's physical education to Congress.
I do not want any child in America to have my childhood because it was taken away from me because I just wasn't good enough.
The exercise icon kept teaching aerobics classes into his 60s. He did eventually pull away from the spotlight in 2014 after a knee injury.
No one should feel sorry for Richard Simmons because I think I'm one of the most loved people in the whole world.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Dr. Ruth, the sex therapist who became a pop icon and best-selling author through her open conversations about sex, has also died. The Holocaust survivor was never shy about discussing topics that were once taboo. Phil Lipoff looks back on her amazing career.
Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, Dr. Ruth.
Yes.
With her heavy German accent and diminutive 4'7" frame, Dr. Ruth Westheimer was an unlikely media star.
And that's a perfect way of doing sex education.
But her extensive knowledge and training as a sex therapist, coupled with her humorous and non-judgmental manner, helped catapult her local radio program, Sexually Speaking, into the national spotlight in the early 80s. Her show, originally 15 minutes long, was later syndicated and extended to 2 hours to accommodate the number of callers she received. Born to an Orthodox Jewish family in Germany, she survived the Holocaust at a Swiss orphanage, where her parents sent her before they died.
Who were rescued with a Kindertransport going into Switzerland, never to see our families again. Not the parents, not the grandparents, they all disappeared.
Dr. Ruth, as she was affectionately known, never advocated for risky sexual behavior. Instead, she encouraged an open dialogue on issues people were once uncomfortable discussing publicly. Her reoccurring theme: there was nothing to be ashamed of.
I would like to see even more men and more women to be what I call sexually literate, to really know what they need, what their partner needs.
Her children announced her passing, saying she died peacefully at her home in New York City, surrounded by her family, just 1 month after celebrating her 96th birthday. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
A quick reminder about a construction project impacting a lot of drivers this weekend. Contractors closed I-40 East from the I-26 interchange to the Biltmore exit all the way through Monday morning. It is part of the ongoing project to rehab the bridges over Hominy Creek and the French Broad River, and of course also repave the interstate. Detour signs are up. I-240 East is the primary route.
And now your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Another hot day today with a high of 91 in Asheville, and that makes the 9th day of 2024 that Asheville has hit 90 degrees or above. On average, we get 9 90-degree plus days a year. Well, here we are, not even halfway through July, and we have tied that average. Now, the most on record, 32 90-degree days. That happened back in 1952. And of course, we've had many years where we have not hit 90 at all. But we will hit 90 and above a few more times as we finish out the weekend and go into the early part of the week. Forecast highs of 93 both Monday and on Tuesday, coming back down a little bit to 90 on Wednesday with a cold front moving in late. And if you think that's a lot of days in the 90s, well, we have had much longer stretches of consecutive days of 90 degrees or above. The longest on record, 1977, for 16 days in a row we were 90 or above. Back in 1932, we had 13 days. 12 days in 69, 10 days in 1993 and 1940, and 8 days back in 2007. Poolside forecast on another 90-degree day is going to be looking pretty good. Just be aware there could be a few showers and thunderstorms popping up during the afternoon hours. Very isolated, widely scattered activity, so I would keep the pool plans. Just know when you hear that thunder, get out of the pool and go inside. We still have this stalled out frontal boundary that is just kind of meandering back and forth. That's keeping a little bit of low-level moisture around. We have this weak area of high pressure, and that is contributing to our heat. We take you hour by hour through the overnight on into Sunday morning. Plenty of sunshine to begin the day with a few high-thin clouds, more clouds and a little more shower activity as we go through the hottest part of the day. In this particular futurecast model is featuring our southern mountains and northern upstate, but I think it could happen about anywhere in the viewing area. And any shower that does form, it could be slow moving. Our wind is really light, and so there is that chance for a heavy downpour. Tracking the heat, the feels like temperature, that heat index. Notice how the heat is expected to peak on Tuesday in Asheville. In several days, we're in that extreme caution range before we get relief, and in the dangerous range in the upstate with that feels like temperature well over 100 degrees, several days peaking at 105 on Tuesday. Our next weather maker is going to be approaching on Wednesday. Plenty of rain out ahead of this cold front that will move into our region, stall out, and that is a good thing because that will keep our rain chances around, and so many of us need that additional rainfall being in drought conditions. Tonight, most of us will be dry and steamy, upper 60s for the lows in the French Broad River Valley, and many of us go into the 90s. Look at the upper 90s in the upstate, some mid 90s in the foothills, places like Morganton, Rutherfordton. As we head on through the work week, we do get that relief, and in a pretty big way after a few days of that front stalling out. More rain and much cooler temperatures will return, and we're back in the upper 70s next weekend.
The Sports Desk, sponsored by Prestige Subaru.
First unseeded pair to win a gentleman's double trophy at Wimbledon since 2014. You can see that UNCA Bulldog Blue repped at center court. Henry Patton making Asheville so proud.
Enjoy it. Put your hands together for our Wimbledon gentlemen's doubles champions, Harry Hiliobara and Henry Patton.
Greetings, I'm Marvin Parker Jr. That's how we began sports at 6, but from the mountains to Wimbledon, what a run for 2024 gentlemen's double champion Henry Patton, the former All-American, 3-time Big South Player of the Year. In 2016, before what's now set to be a Hall of Fame Bulldog career, he was working for Stats at the Wimbledon. Let's see how he became a Wimbledon champion. After both duos split the first 2 sets, we get a third set thriller, gentlemen's double final from SW19. That's the postal code from the championships. Patton and company were down 5-2 in the second set, just points away from losing in straight sets. Patton there with a shot to give his team the 5-4 lead in the tiebreak. It moves to 9-10. You got to win by 2 at this point. And there it is. Patton and teammate Harry Hiliobara, champs. Patton asked if he has words in this moment.
No. No. Guys, you're all amazing out there. Obviously couldn't have been a closer match, and yeah, I can't really remember what happened, to be honest. I'm sure Harry's the same.
Enjoy it. Asheville City men final regular season game of the year, hosting Tennessee Soccer Club. Early minutes, Blues cross. Lewis Johnson gets a chance, can't get the header down. Home team striking early, though. Not too long thereafter, Tennessee's goalie out defending Johnson. Can't get it, though. It hits the post. Still scoreless just over midway through the opening half. That's a foul. It's going to be a free kick. Asheville will score first. They'll do it again in the second half, and they win 2-1. Third round of the Scottish Open taking place in North Berwick on Saturday. Rory McIlroy tries to move into contention. He misses the birdie here and would end at 12 under. Scotland's own Robert McIntyre with a birdie to get him to 15 under. That's good for second. Ludvig Åberg rolls in a birdie, 2-stroke lead at 17 under. It wasn't the Braves' day. Bottom second when David Peralta drives a ground rule double to left to take a 1-0 Padres lead. B8 3-0 bad guys. Manny Machado launches one to center off Jesse Chavez for the solo home run. That's 4-0 Padres. It's the Padres' 5th shutout this season. Also the 5th time the Braves have been held scoreless this season. Rubber match tomorrow. There's the Asheville Tennis Open in the morning. There's also Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic. That's in the morning as well for the men's final from Wimbledon. Stay up and stay cool.
An opportunity for artists of all ages to show off their skills and what they can do. Look at that. Is pretty impressive. We show you some of the unique work next. Some local artists got to show off their skills in downtown Hendersonville today. Take a look. They did it with chalk. Chalk It Up is a sidewalk art contest that started with 3 kids drawing in front of their mother's store nearly 30 years ago. Every summer, 150 artists of all ages draw for prizes and, of course, a lot of fun.
It's a chance for kids to come out and just have a good time. And then on professional level, for some of the professionals out here, it's a chance for them to show off their skills and their artwork. Every year it amazes me some of the stuff I see here, whether it's from like a 5-year-old to like a 50-year-old. It's unbelievable some of the stuff I've seen.
Get on the news, Natalie. The prizes are donated from the downtown merchants and restaurants in the area. Look at that. Very, very cool. Impressive. Hey, if you're planning to spend some time outside, be sure to be prepared. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.